Right then folks, so you're joining me in the last hour of the first day of the Riddings Silverfish Festival here, obviously at the Riddings, sponsored by Tom Fick Baits and the Pellet guys, and it's really too close to call. We just stood behind Steve Harwood here, and he's catching pretty well, to be honest. Obviously no stranger to catching silverfish here. He has won one of the festivals that we've hosted here before, and he seems to be getting amongst those better sized skimmers. I am quite some distance away from him because I really don't want to be spooking these fish, and I don't want to be responsible for costing anybody the money. Quite a bit of money at stake here. £1,200 for first place, but realistically, with all the pool's money, you're going to walk away with 1,500–1,600 quid for first place. So you can see again, this seems like it's another decent skimmer for Steve. Certainly won't want to lose this one. Yeah, look at that. So we're on the Riddings pool here at the minute, which is where we started earlier on. I've had a quick walk up to Folly, and certainly this Riddings pool seems to be fishing better than the Folly pool. I reckon that Steve, you just see a fish there in the background from Rob Swan, but Steve's the first one in his section. He's got 7 in his section here, so it's Steve, Roy Coleman, Frannick, and then you can just see Brandon in the background, Phil Emmons, Jake King, and then Cameron Hughes. Now weirdly, normally on this lake you don't want to be on these bottom 2 pegs where Roy here is in the background and really where Steve is. It's not great, but I think that Steve is probably going to win his section. From what I've been told, he caught really well first off. He's just missed another bite there. And then just over his left hand shoulder where you can see the white cap is Rob Swan. Now Rob is probably on one of the less desirable pegs here down on Riddings. I'm not going to walk behind him because, as I said, we're going into the last 40 minutes now, and these boys don't need any outside disturbance from the like of me, like a baby elephant traipsing around. So we'll just watch it from here because we are governed by signal a little bit here as well. Oh, you can just see there, Steve just missed another peg. But as I said, this is day 1 of the On the Flyer TV winter festival here at the Riddings. We do hold 2 other festivals here at the Riddings, but it's all about this January one. Now, we were a bit dubious about how it was going to fish, but this mild weather just seems like these skimmers have had a bit of a munch today. I think that Adam Wakelin's probably going to win this match today, and I reckon he's going to be up to about £20. There's fish coming out all over here. I can see an opposite bank. Matt George, who's Brandon's dad, catching. Jack Harness is also swinging a fish in. And Rob Swan's playing another fish. Just seems to have gone a bit quieter here now, so let's just walk up to this bank a little bit up here now, away from it all. And we'll make our way back up to Brandon. Although, I must warn you, it's a really good place to lose my signal, so just got to be careful. As I said, it's a silverfish only competition, so no variation of any goldfish or anything like that counts, strictly silverfish. It definitely seems to have switched off for most this last hour. There's 14 on each lake. It's going to be a rotation, so tomorrow these guys that have fished Riddings will be up on Folly Pool, and vice versa for those that are on Folly will be down on this pool. Now I reckon, my predictions are that it's going to be Adam Wakelin, who you can just see opposite. Try and keep it as steady as I can. Adam Wakelin's probably going to win this section, I think. I think that this section that we're looking at here is going to be Steve Harwood or Brandon George. Up on Folly, I think it's going to be Des Ship or Danny Harding. And the other section I think is going to be Tom Scully. There is my predictions for the 4 anglers for the next section winners for day 1, but we've still got 40 minutes to go, and obviously you can't be everywhere at once. Terry Folds, Danny Harding, he's doing really well, to be honest, mate. He's drawn not a great area up on Folly. I think he's on peg 3, which can be very hit and miss, but I think he's strung together a few good decent skimmers. Obviously Danny won the festival here in November, took some big scalps with him. He beat Jamie Hughes, who normally does pretty well at this venue, but he beat Jamie on the first day and went on to beat Lee Kerry the second day for 2 section perfect 1 point, and he won the festival. So Danny certainly knows what he's doing here, and although he's not drawn a great peg, as I said earlier on, I think it's going to be between Danny Harding and Des Ship for the section up on Folly, because they certainly know mug. And him and Danny, Des and Danny have, you can just see Adam playing a fish there now. Yeah, them two are kind of drawn the wrong end of the lake, but 2 very good anglers, so it's going to be very close between them two. You can just see Adam there playing that fish, and also Brandon seems to have got one on, but I'm not sure if it was a carp. Yeah, it's come off. You can see that it's a decent skimmer for Adam. And Rob Swan's just caught another fish. So as I said, folks, it's really, really close. I wouldn't like to call it, as I predicted earlier on, I think there's going to be a lot of double figure fish today. So I think there's going to be quite a few people on that £10 oar, and I think Wakeling is probably going to be £20. And from what I saw earlier on, Adam Palmer, who's opposite him, also wasn't catching too bad, so could be either of them two really. But it is a silvers match, so it's far from Fast and the Furious, but it's certainly been a very technical match for most. It's been that milder weather, so it's been interesting to see a lot of the lads reach for those pellets today, as opposed to the maggots and worms tactics that we were using here only a couple of weeks ago on one of the Winter Classic qualifiers. If you would have said that you would have been using pellets then, somebody would have looked at you like you'd gone out. But still a lot of natural baits on people's side trays. I just don't think many people have been feeding them, and those that have been feeding them, like Simon Willsmore up on Folly Pool, has caught a lot of fish, but they're all tiny blade roach. He's obviously had some dumpy ones, but I'm not so sure that was the right tactic personally today. I think that the problem he's going to have is he's going to have been very busy, and obviously I might be wrong when he drops his weight on the scales, but I personally think that those that are opting to sit out for those skimmers over the pellet lines, willing to wait a little bit longer, he's got to catch 5, 6, 7, 8 fish to their one skimmer, because there's been a lot of hand-sized skimmers coming out today, and I just think he might have got his small head fish on, and I'm not sure it's going to pay off. Obviously we'll find out, but I think personally it was probably the wrong tactic. He's fishing maggots through the water, whereas these boys are obviously opting to sit it out on a more positive rig, fishing for pellets, and certainly seem to be catching a better stamp. But we'll find out in just over half an hour's time. So for now, I'm going to sign off on this live feed. Thanks for watching. Just in case those that were wondering, we are doing a bit of both. So most of the work, all the videos and live feeds are going to be going on the Flyer TV and the actual edited video on the YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, obviously head over to there. But every festival we do, we're going to bring you a video and a live feed on Catch More Media's YouTube page as well. So bit of both for everybody, both platforms. But as all I can say is thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. As always, message me with any comments you want, Gary Rogers, and I'll try and answer any questions you got. But at the minute, half an hour left, day 1 of the 2-day Silverfish Festival, sponsored by Tom Fick Baits and Pellet Guys, and we're having a lovely day. Speak to you soon.